Yes, sir. We're back again. We're going to the new year 2025. It's your boy, Coach Slow for Life, and I'm here to talk to you about how the things went for the whole year. A nice recap, a nice little touch up on what happened, the accomplishment, the goal, the grind, the mindset, the respecting the brand all the way through. And whether you are listening to Low on the Listen to Low show. And remember what I said once, I'm going to say it again. 2 ears, 1 mouth. Because you never know what you might miss when you listen to Low. So if you haven't been following Low from day one to now, well, you're going to get information, and the information is going to be impeccable. Why? Because it's the pinnacle of coaching, the pinnacle of being a mentor, the pinnacle of being a trainer. Coach, trainer, mentor is the name, and that's the game I play because I believe in it, I know it, and I love it because truly a mindset of greatness, a commitment of greatness, a sacrifice of greatness, and a passion of greatness. How about for every day? Take them 4 things with you every morning when you wake up. Apply them at work, apply them at school, apply them at practice, apply them at training. Because a mindset and a mind is definitely a terrible thing to waste. And make sure if you have a strong mindset, greatness is all over you. You can see it in your face. You can see it in your body language. You see it every time you move. And I love it because being a coach is not easy. Coaching is not a walk in the park. It comes with ultimate sacrificing that the world doesn't even see. Late nights, early morning, balancing family time and personal work. It comes with the adversity of building a culture around the program and the standards while teaching humility, doing wins and losses. It can sometimes cloud your relationships because of the focus you put into the kids. It's emotional. It's mentorship. It's turning a deaf ear to parents and community bashing. I took up coaching because God told me to give back to the community by empowering, showing love, and teaching these kids teamwork and a sense of belonging to something bigger than themselves. From one coach to another that understand this. Be where your feet are. I applaud all the coaches in the city, in the whole world, that sacrifice everything that they have to be a great coach. Sacrifice for the greater goods. Sacrifice your time, your efforts, your money. I applaud you. So they call me Coach Low for life. So whatever your name is, you make sure you add for life afterwards. January 2024 kicked it off very good for me because I had to go through some things before I even get to that point because a lot of changes come in. So what are you going through and how you going to overcome it? I knew they said have a New Year resolution. My New Year resolution was have a strong mindset because I knew something going to be coming because I was on top. In 2023, I'm on top. Running one of the largest speed and agility training company in the state of Florida, to be running football camp all the way around the country, 26 football camps around the country. Have kids that play in college volleyball, college football on ESPN Plus. Accomplishment. Getting accolades, getting promoted at my job from being in a training department helping sales rep to now being in a manager and now helping resort operators. So much success was going on. I had an opportunity to buy my dream car, Range Rover, after 20 years of wanting it. So I knew with all the success and everything I was going to get, I knew the devil was coming. I knew it was going to happen. I would wait. I was prepared for it. I knew I had to be mentally strong. I knew it. But at the same time, I knew I'd have to have the passion for what I do. So I would let nothing bring me down, not even the devil himself. I knew I had to have a strong work ethic. So I knew if I had to slow down a little bit, I'm always going to keep going. And finally, I knew I had to do everything with integrity. By doing things with integrity, I knew when the tough get rough, I would never stand alone. And sure enough, I didn't stand alone. I stood strong and stronger. I love the fact that I got an opportunity doing the Listen to Low podcast. That was huge for me. And I do gotta get a shout out to a gentleman that called me and said, "Hey, you should do a podcast." And I was like, "Man, I don't know if I want to do a podcast." And what do you mean? He said, "Well, do a podcast, talk about sports, tell your story. You're the perfect guy to do it, and you can do a lot of great things." So because I learned from 50 Cent to listen, 2 ears, one mouth. You never know where your blessing might come. And sure enough, that's what I did. I listened to him. I gave it a shot. And I remember him calling me, telling me, "Hey, I need you to find a studio. And the studio that you find, he'll pay for it." So I said, "All right, cool, no problem." Found a studio. Went to a studio called Shot by Nine. Tremaine Wright. Came inside. Great studio, great setup. And he seen my passion. He seen my vision. He said, "Let's do it. Let's make this happen." I said, "Okay, let's do it." So we did one. And then next thing you know, it was time to do another one. The gentleman that introduced me to doing this podcast was like, "Sorry, but he didn't pay the money." And I was like, And the one thing about me, if you don't pay your bill, then I can't deal. And because he didn't pay his bill, I had to move out. It's too early for you to get into that. So I decided to do it myself. Invest in me. Invest in yourself. Because I invested in me with the Listen to Low podcast. I invested in myself, and I came up, and I started doing a podcast, and we have not missed a podcast yet. We're probably on episode 41 now. 41 weeks straight of doing podcasts. That's consistency. I'm very persistent, and I'm very consistent. So I think I said that right. Try to say that 5 times. But it all said and done, being very consistent and doing a podcast and getting information out there to parents, athletes, coaches that need to hear it from another angle. Why? 'Cause I have the experience. I'm a father, right? I have the experience. I'm a father that has athletes, so I have the experience. I'm a coach. Been coaching since 1991. I have the experience. I'm an athlete. I was top track and field hurdler in high school. I played in college a little, not a lot, but that was another experience. Coaching, it was very interesting because not only did we coach, we actually won national championships. Now, all my years of coaching, I won a national championship in football. We won multiple national championships in track and field, 7-on-7 football, flag football. So I know how to be a champion. So the experiences came from there. Talking to young athletes that want to give up, want to stop, had no angle, had no direction. I mentored them. And them same athletes today are doing a lot of great things. I mean, an athlete that shows that football wasn't his angle. And he's like, "I got to do something different." No, instead of coming home, I said, just stay in school. Don't come home and just try to get a job. Sacrifice that moment time. You might have to get some loans and do things different. But now he's a top pharmacist. Jimmy Pruitt excited about him and that he made a decision that, you know what? Football is not my heart, but saving lives or helping people and getting to the health area, it works. And now he's doing a great job. Shout out to Jimmy Pruitt. Didn't finish football, but did something else even greater. So once again, that's that mentorship that comes along with it too. So if you see it all, how all of it ties in, it all go together, it comes down to helping people. But how do you know if you're a coach? How do you know you're a trainer? How do you know you're really a mentor? How do you even know that it works? Because you would know your purpose in life early on. I never forget when I ran track and I ended up becoming fastest in the state of Florida in the hurdles. And they did an interview and the guy asked me what I want to be when I grow up. I told him, a businessman and a coach. Now I'm 18 years old, talking about being a businessman and a coach. And interesting enough, I did an interview when I got ready to graduate high school. They interviewed me, asked me what I want to be when I grow up, and I said a businessman and a coach. Now I didn't have no father there with me to even guide me, talking about being a businessman and a coach. My father wasn't there. He wasn't a businessman. He wasn't a coach. He wasn't a father. So how do I know that's what I want to be? Sometimes other people that get in your path that set you up that way. But at the same time, there's God already have a plan for you. He already had a plan for me. He already knew what I was going to be. He's already said, I just have to recognize what I'm going to be. And he didn't, and like you're sleeping, everybody said they wake up and God spoke to me. I just think God put me in a situation, or the situation I was in was God plan, God path. Because when I was little, I was bad, hard-headed. I did everything wrong, nothing right. I wasn't the best kid. But once I got to junior high school and met certain people and that came in my life that I like never thought would be in my life, it changed just like that. And now I done went from being that kid that probably not gonna make it in life, a kid that probably gonna be in jail or hell, end up being a kid that end up being a good athlete, growing up being a good person, a good provider, a coach, a leader. I mean, I even remember when I was in high school and I was in the maybe 11th grade and I was one of the top hurdlers in track and field. So in about the 12th grade year, we had a new coach, Coach Mike Cullison. He really, to my opinion, he really didn't know track. But I knew track. I've been doing it since I was in junior high school. And I said, Coach, I just do it. I just be the track coach. Here I am now, 18 years old, senior year, being a track coach. And I never forget when I had my guy, Robbie Holmes, James McKnight, Chris Barnett, all of us was like together, like 4 or 5 of us. And we put a workout together, a train together. We worked the hurdles together. We actually had our own little track team. I was a track coach. And sure enough, that year I went to the state championship in the 110 high hurdles. Robin made it in 300 hurdles, right? Then the next year, them guys ended up doing bigger and better things. James McKnight became a top hurdler and then a lone jumper, a triple jumper. So all these guys here was right up under me. I'm in high school, and that's when I knew my plan and who I was going to be. But at the same time, I did have opportunity to go to college, and it just wasn't for me. College wasn't for me. College not for everybody. I want people to get out of that mindset that college for everybody. You got to go to college. You got to go to college. You do need to go. It does help. I'm right now into the workforce right now. I've been in my company, Westgate Resort, for 20 years. And certain department, you need that degree. A certain department, you don't. You just got to know how to talk very well, which I can do. Because my grandmother told me I got to give to gab. But at the same time, it worked for me. But everyone don't have that gift to gab. So I think having a college degree, going to college, is very important. It's good for your resume. That's the society we're in. That's what they said. If you want a good job, you go to college, get a degree, right? Because you learn a lot in college. So, you're on your own. You got to be able to come out on your own. You got to be able to grow and be mature in college. So I'm a big advocate, big fan of it. But it's not for everybody. It wasn't for me. But why? Not why? Because I didn't have no support from at home to saying, hey, do your homework, or come to the school, do counseling, or put me in tutoring. No, that wasn't it. My plan was to get the experience, come home, and share all my experience with others to help them get to that point. Because I didn't have that. So that's what I did. And when you look at it from 1991 coaching, 1992, 93, 94, all the way through, I'm coaching these kids. But we're bigger than just coaching. Coaching is one thing, training, mentor is something different. But if you could do all three, it makes sense. If I'm a coach to a kid and I'm training the kid and I'm mentoring, now I can change now that name that I was given by Bruce Jones was Coach Lowe for life. Right. So because I'm not just being a coach, I'm doing all of it. It's bigger than just coaching. So it's like, well, what do you mean by that? I'm going to jump ahead right now. And I'm going to go all the way to 2010, 11. And my son's at Notre Dame. I remember he played against Pitt. And when he played against Pitt, I would go like all the games. So I go to the game to play against Pitt at Pitt. But at the same time, I have Brandon Dukes, who was at Mercyhurst. Then I got Lowe at Notre Dame, but I also have Ronald Brown. I also have Quentin Smith. These guys were at Pitt. Then over here, West Virginia was Tyreek Owens. Then there was K.J. Dillon, Carl Joseph, and Dante Campbell. So I got all these guys at West Virginia. Then at Pittsburgh, they had a game, and they were playing against Buffalo Bills. And back then we had Carlos Williams and Nicara Robley. So all these kids I coached or trained or mentored. Here's the coleslaw for life. Fly up there on a Friday. Drive in the snow 2.5 hours to see Brandon Dukes at Mercyhurst. Leave Brandon Dukes to drive back home. Get up that morning and go to play in the morning. Watch at 12 to watch Pitt, watch Lowe, Quentin Smith, all them play against each other. Leave there at 5 o'clock because it's a away game, so Lowe went back. Went to eat, go hung out with Quentin for a little bit. Drive down to West Virginia to the Mountaineers. Watch Carl, KJ, Tyree, and DeAndre them play their game against TCU. Go back home. Get back up that morning with my best friend Boo. Then we drive to Pittsburgh in that doggone tunnel that was stuck in about 2 hours, claustrophobic, from Pittsburgh over there to the Heinz Stadium. When I get to the Heinz Stadium, I go to Jerome Bettis restaurant, which is my friend who used to hang out a little bit up in New Orleans at the Essence Festival. Interesting, huh? Leave there, go to the game. I got Nikhil Robley and Carlos Williams out there playing football. All in one weekend. 3 college games, 1 NFL game, in 1 weekend. Coach Lowe for life. We go eat, put a little money in their pocket, make sure they're good. Support. That's what I mean by don't be there just for a season. Be there for life. That's the reason you're really there. So you got to ask yourself or ask coach, are you here for a season or are you here for a reason? Because you're here for a reason and it's the right reason, you'll be there for life for them. And that's the journey. So, and the reason why I said that has something to do with 2024, because these kids, these men now, they're home, they graduated. Every last one I just named to you, if I'm on the right page, NFL, first round draft pick, Carl Joseph, NFL, Nikhil Robles in the NFL, KJ Dillon went to the NFL, Lowe Wood Jr. graduated from Notre Dame. Quentin graduated from Pitt. Nikhil graduated from USC. Ronnie graduated from Pitt. Look at the stories behind it. And now it ties in to the jersey behind me. If you can see it, it ties in, don't it? Because all I always ask them for is a college jersey and a college degree. That's all I want. Because thanks to them kids, I was able to get a job, and I've been on that job 20 years. Now I'm the ambassador of all the Westgate resorts because someone recognized me, what I was doing with the kids that worked at Westgate and gave me a chance, changed my life. So no college completed, no big time college, just work hard, take care of my children, and take care of other kids from there. So how that all ties in? Why am I going around it? Why I'm not just locking into 2024, the accomplishment in 2024? I said all that for a reason. Because not just them athletes, there are other athletes that's out there that I train and coach and mentor. And now the same athletes are now with me training, coaching, and mentoring other kids. Sometimes I want to sit back and just like, wow. Never thought that was the purpose and it all said and done. I was thinking the purpose was me to just to coach, train, mentor the kid. Not to have the ones I coach, train, and mentor come back and do the same thing I'm doing. Giving back. And that was the key. That was the key. So now here we is in 2024. I get a phone call from a gentleman and say, hey, want you to do more of our football camps, and they want you to go around everywhere and do our camp. I'm like, what are we talking about here? He said, we want you to be the guy that directs our camps. So I said, okay. So I'm like thinking, if I do that, then how does that, what does that mean? Is that a company? That's a business? So a friend of mine, Brandon Dory, called me and said, yeah, man, you like the Camp King. The Camp King, okay. Maybe I need to, all right, Camp King. So I created a company called the Camp King. And then I put Camp King, and people don't know this, the K is not C-A-M-P, K-A-M-P. The K is for kids. Unique, different. And it all stems up on the brand Excel Speed. I'm never going to let go of that. Me and my partner, Aaron Jones, started that company in 2020. We're not going to let go of that. Excel Speed it's like the brand, and then under that there is the DBAs. Excel Speed, doing business as the Camp King. Excel speed, doing business as coaching, mentoring, training, whatever. It's a mecca. We want kids to excel in life and excel with their speed. So, everything quick, everything fast. And if you notice the shirt I have on today, I want to represent that we want to do the kids in the United States of America. So there's no more local. It's national now. So every time we move, and Excel move, the Burn Baby Burn, is representing United States. So God have now allowed me to impact kids, not just from Orlando. We're talking about Georgia, Alabama. We're talking about California, Vegas, Arizona, Phoenix, New Jersey, Maryland, all over. So we're impacting them, more than ever. Every time I go somewhere now, it's like, can I get a picture? Can I get a picture? If someone asks you to take a picture, you impacted them. If someone asks for your phone number to talk to you more, you impacted them. If someone tagged you and post you on their Twitter and Instagram, you impacted them. That's 300 out there at the camp. I might not impact all 300, but my Instagram go up 100 a piece easy. Why? Because I impacted them. And you can't impact them all. Like my preacher always say, it's not about the ones that didn't come to get impact. It's about the ones that did come that was impact. It's like going to church or we used to do a mentorship called Youth Education Spiritual Sports. And we started out with like 70 kids in 2024. We've been doing it, but this year, 2024, we combined and we had like 70 kids. Then went 60, 50, 40, 30, 25. Whoa. And you say to yourself, man, what did we do wrong? If I'm introducing, mentoring them and we're supporting them and academic-wise and bringing guest speakers in and we, say a prayer for them and do a devotion a little bit, why are we from 7 to 5? So I called Pastor Clayton and asked him, said, why? He said, look, don't worry about the ones that's not there. Worry about the one that is there. Because them 5 might go back and impact others. Can't save the world. Can't save the world. You only can do your part. As long as you leave there feeling like you did your part, you'll be okay. I said, I appreciate that. I accept that. Thank you for putting that in my life. Now I can keep moving. Because I have known that there's 2 things I'm never, ever going to be able to do as a coach, a trainer, or a mentor. The 2 things I'm never going to be able to do. I'm never going to be able to tell a parent what to do with their money or what to do with their kid. All I can do is give my advice because I have the experience in every different phase. So if you're a coach, trainer, or mentor, you make sure, no matter what you do, they're somebody else's kid. Wow. Interesting. It's hard out there. I was talking to a parent the other day and it was like, somebody told me not to deal with you. Somebody told me that you're not ready for the kids. Somebody told me that you're about making some money. And I was like, I said, well, you got to judge it for yourself. If you don't judge things for yourself, you might miss out. So the parent chose to stay with my program. And I get a call from her the other day. And she said, I'm glad I didn't listen to them. My son loves your program and loves you and your coaches. He begs me to come to training. He begs me to do FPU. He begs me to go to the camp. And he says hard and you're tough on them. You're strict and you don't play. But he begs to go for someone who can be hard, tough, and strict. Well, have you heard that before? Well, a kid is begging to get hard coaching, hard training, hard mentor. Where else can you get that from? Kids asking to go? One parent called me and said, can you talk to him? I said, talk to him about what? She said, he's here, he's ready. No, he's mad at me because I was late. What? The kid mad at the mom because the mom was late. Come on, guys. Think about what we're doing. If they're not mad because the mom is late to get your practice, your coaching, your training, your mentorship, somebody not doing something correctly. There's something we're not doing right. And then we know, and like I said, I know that no one's perfect, but I tell you, I try to get close to perfection I can. Close to perfection than I can. That's why 2025 will be better than 2024. Because it's the way we did things. Especially when you did it with integrity. You did it for the passion of your heart. Your work ethic is impeccable. The sky's the limit when you follow the guideline of success. And I'm hoping I'm giving it to you, and I hope I gave it to you guys after 41 episodes of listening to Low. Remember last year, and I never talked about this, and I'm going to throw a quick segment on it. And I came back out of retirement to coaching, and I hadn't coached in a long time. So I won the 2003 National Championship of Pound Control. I won multiple mid-Florida Championship. I stopped coaching for 10 years. I came back out of retirement again, coached at Ocoee Bulldog, and won mid-Florida Championship. I came out of retirement. I went back in about 3 years. They brought me back out again. I went back to Ocoee again, coached again with undefeated season. And then I said, I'm out. I'm done no more. Then I had the opportunity to come back one more time last year and coach in a program in Orlando Jags. And I really enjoyed that year coaching. It was different. It was tough. Times had changed. But my old school ways did win over a lot of athletes. On Monday, we did Bible study, devotion, and we did mentorship. And then we go to practice. And Tuesday and Thursday, we went to practice. Wednesday, we had study, like they want to do homework and need to study or work on a test or prepare for their test. We did book check. We did book club. All this right here we did every single week. The practice was structured. We did speed agility training. We did position training. We had a system, game preparation. And we ended up becoming a district champion. We was a district champion. We lost the second round in the playoff. And because the environment I was in and the program I was in and the way people seen things, because I was so old school, I think I overstepped my boundary a little bit, being too old school, and then rubbed something the wrong way. And sure enough, I was put out there as a bad, bad person. But the good thing about it is, because I did it with integrity and never involved and never said a word, I never stood alone. The people that supported was the ones that still supporting today. Because eventually it goes away, and that's the same people eventually come back and say, maybe I was wrong. Or they might just say nothing. When you keep in silence, that's what happened. Because one thing I tell you, when you turn on people, you're not going to get rewarded. When you do things with integrity, you will be rewarded. That there alone was tough. But to come back a whole year in 2024 and travel to over 30 football camps around the country to train over 1,000 athletes in a year, to be able to be impacted at one of the larger resorts in the country, be an ambassador after 20 years, to have kids in college, be able to go visit your kids in college playing volleyball, playing football, to be able to travel and go to Hawaii, vacationing, Vegas, Baltimore, see the Black Museum I've never seen before in my life. It was amazing. To have a business, have properties where tenants are happy, give them opportunity to have a place to live that they didn't get the opportunity, couldn't do it at any other place because they were too strict. These are the things that, I'm like, wow, how am I getting rewarded now for all the bad things that were put out there? Because I did it with integrity. Then come right back and be the director of a program called FBU. I did it, and have the team go down there and have 8-14 to win all the Florida games and represent the state of Florida, to compete against some of the top teams in the country, all-star team, and we end up winning a national championship. Had coaches that believe in what we're doing, taking a third place, 7-5. All the teams win on Sunday, go home happy. Here's what I tell everybody. If you have a program, I don't care what it is, you only can have 2% of problems. Once you get past 2% of problems, you're in trouble. This year, 2% of problems. Some people is more than happy. Can't satisfy everybody. But if you can satisfy 98% of the people that's in your program, the people that believe in you, the people that support you, and you satisfy 98%, you will be victorious. You will be successful. And there it is. The talk of the town, the talk of Central Florida is what this program, Central Florida, have done in representing the city and putting it on for the city. I mean, coming right from July to have our big Orlando shootout and Battle of the Pit, that camp we did with over 300 athletes, we fed through the faith outreach with Jamel Brown and Pastor William to feed over 300 athletes. And the company, our brand that support me, Shock Doctor, put shirts on all of them. They have former NFL players out there giving back, not just going through the motion. This ain't no Chuck E. Cheese. We're talking about grinding, training, competing. I mean, the best of the best to get awards. And they have Aaron Jones Foundation and Brandon Merriweather and Carl Joseph and Dan LaForest Influence Council to come in and give out college scholarships, to give out youth organization scholarship money to help their organization. Doing it because that was the plan. That was God's plan. Not to make up, not to justify. Don't ever go try to justify something. I was talking to my friend Ellis today. He was talking about how everybody's on top of Travis Hunter, and he keep trying to what's the word? I don't know. I can't even say it. Like he's trying to go back and fix it, or he on there trying to redeem, or I don't know what the word he used, but like I don't know why he even talking. Do it in silence. Just do it in silence. And that's what I did. We do it in silence. We do it in integrity. The rest is history. I just want to make sure I just want to clear that up this year and just say, much love for all the coaches. And you heard my statement this morning, this morning, and if you look at me on social media, you heard it. And we talked about coaching and what coaching means and what it stands for. And you have to be strong to be a coach. You got to have a strong back and a strong supporters at the same time. So be strong, be supportive. Thank you, everybody, for listening low. A lot more going on, a lot of great things. I'm going to come back with a New Year special, right? Bring our boys on here. We're going to talk about all the things we did. But I did want to throw something out there today. And thank you, guys. Make sure you keep listening to us on Listening Low. Right there, brought to you by Sweet Fire Production, which the owner of that is my son, Lowood Jr., right there, the Notre Dame graduate that's graduate TV and film production, that's taking his career and taking his expertise and enhancing, giving back the same way so everybody can hear the word of Coach Low. Y'all follow us, like us, subscribe, and we will be back. Camp King, 1-2. Camp with a K. We'll see you in New Year's.